Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Real Coaching Podcast. I appreciate everyone for the support. Thank you for liking, subscribing. Just being a part of the journey. I'm Coach Key. Today, I got a great guest for you today, Trumaine Washington. Trumaine, a Miami native. Grew up in Miami. Played football for Louisville High School Killian. Went off to play Canada football in the CFL Professional League. Coming back home, he's doing a lot of great things in the community with the kids. Got his training going on where just developing kids and trying to teach them how to do things the right way and get them to the next level. Before we start, True, you got something you want to let the people know?
Thanks for having me, man. Known this guy for a long time. Great guy. What he's doing with the kids in the community is great. I've been watching them. I've been watching the episodes. Been watching the football. The Little League football you got going on. That's real good, man. I was in Canada watching, all the games and the episodes and the practices and stuff like that. It's really good, man.
Appreciate it.
I love it with you.
Appreciate it.
Kids.
Appreciate it, man. So before we start, I got some questions I want to ask. Obviously, you made a name for yourself in the football world, and everybody know who you are. You made a huge impact, man. Inspiration to the kids, man. Inspiration to me. Just seeing how you come from humble beginnings and nobody never gave you anything. It was all work, underdogs, high school, no stars, and you really worked your ass off to get to where you are. Watching you with some small college offers, and then one day you just Louisville popped up and you took it and ran with it, man, and you made something out of nothing. But like from the beginning, let's start from the start. What made you love the game of football, or what made you want to play football?
Well, my dad probably put a football in my hand when I was like 3 years old. I always go back to the family pictures at your parents' house, and I got on a Ricky Williams jersey with a football in my hand. So I was born in the game of football. My dad always tell me, we talk about football all the time, and
right.
he tell me he wanted me to play baseball, and my mom, all she knew was football, because all my uncles, they played football, so it was all football. She was like, no, he's playing football. So I pretty much was like born into the game. I started early at 4 years old. I played for Coral Reef. It was Coral Reef back in the day. I think it's Palmetto Bay now.
Palmetto Bay Broncos, okay.
Yeah, so it was Coral Reef Broncos back in the day. I used to play for them. Started at 4. Pee-wees, and then that's when they had the Pee-wees. They used to have the stripes on the helmet. Blue team, the gold team. I actually think they need to do that now.
Right.
I think at KBG, you guys had like a whole bunch of kids, and every kid come. I don't know. It was a lot of stories. But it was a whole bunch of kids. I think y'all should do that. Go back to the blue team, the black team, the yellow team,
and they play against each other.
Right.
You ain't got to play against other parts.
Nah,
Just out there playing against each other in the mirror,
That's it.
Learning the game of football.
Learning the game, having fun. So, played for Pee-wees twice. 4 years old, 5 years old, and then 65, 75, 85, and then I switched parts and played for Sunnyland. I guess that was when the recruiting stuff got going on.
Yeah.
All the kids, once the kids get older, we want the best kids on the park, and played for Sunnyland. That was a great team. I played for Coach Kelsey, and after that, I went to I was supposed to play for Richmond. I got held back a year, my third grade or something like that. And then I got recruited to play at Kendall Hammett's Park. Played there maybe 1 or 2 years, and then went to KBG. My coaches left there and went to KBG. Played there, and then I played for my last year of football. I played for South Miami.
Okay, yeah, I remember you playing at South Miami.
Yeah, I played with South Miami.
With Obi, right?
It was it was Coach. It was Smooth out of the Grove.
Smooth. Okay.
Yeah, it was Smooth out of the Grove.
Okay. Okay.
And then I actually got recruited to play for Coach Jason that's at Columbus. He had a extreme league for Tamiami.
Uh-huh.
So I played there with a couple of my friends, and from there we went to Columbus.
Columbus.
Yeah. So
okay, tell me about that Columbus story. What made you leave Columbus to go to Killeen? What happened with that?
So actually at Columbus was smooth. Columbus, great school, man. Like, I love how they operate. I don't like the freshman team thing that they do, but for a lot of guys who come there, you know, a lot of guys who come there need to be on the freshman team.
Right.
100%.
Right.
But, you know, you got some, you know, superstars that come out of, you know, Pop Warner. They have to play varsity.
Right. So you felt like your freshman year at Columbus, you could have played varsity?
Me? No. I probably could have played, but I wouldn't have started.
So you think that? So did the freshman team help you out? Like, did you benefit playing on the freshman team at Columbus? You coming in, you know, with all the skills that you had, you know, played against all the top kids growing up, and now you starting from the bottom on a freshman team. Did you feel like you benefited from that?
That's tough, man. Cause I never was a scary player. I always was advanced. I can do A skip, B skip, jumping jack. You got kids now that get on the freshman team don't know how to A skip, B skip, don't know how to run, lunge. They don't have to do none of that.
Right.
I knew, and the people who I came in with knew how to do these things. We was advanced. So yes, we could have played varsity, but probably not started. Now we had a dude, Tyree Brady. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, I know
Tyree Brady. 6'4". Why is he playing varsity? I mean, why is he playing freshman team? He need to be on varsity.
So
right
Tyree
now.
Brady was at Columbus with y'all?
Yeah, Tyree Brady was at Columbus.
I didn't know he started off at Columbus.
Yeah, he was in my class. We had a few guys who was like, you know, played on that Richmond team that they went to national. There was a few of them played on our team.
And y'all was on freshman team.
And we was on freshman team.
They wouldn't even let y'all play JV.
No JV. It was we actually scrimmaged against the JV and we beat them.
So so you felt like you couldn't even get better.
Nah, it was too easy.
So was that the reason why you left and went to Killeen?
No, so played freshman team, and then sophomore year I actually started. As soon as I moved up to varsity, it was like the last few games, and then entering that next year I actually started.
Right.
And then start not getting in trouble. I guess falling asleep in one of the coaches' classes. Which is bad, but it was a Catholic class. You know, so like, I mean, it was. What was talked about in there was not my. I couldn't hold on. I couldn't hold on. So I would go to sleep in class. And then every time I went to sleep in class, I couldn't play that game. And
so they wouldn't let you play?
They didn't let me play. So I was a starter for the first game. We played Tampa Plant in the kickoff.
You had
classes.
good grades, everything. It's just that grades. The coach was like, "Oh, you fell asleep in class. You ain't playing today.
You can't play." And you
just wasn't interested in the class.
I wasn't. It was talking about. It wasn't. Most days we wouldn't even do any work. It was talking about video games, Call of Duty, Halo, and all this stuff that I'm not interested. They were talking about a Madden or something like that. I'm probably interested, but it was games that it was kind of weird, man. But I would do everything in my power to try to stay up because I'm a starter on varsity as a sophomore, and I was one of few. Like all the other guys who I came in with, they didn't make it, and I worked so hard to in practice to start, and I actually started. But every time my defensive coordinator, he'll come up to me, he'll say, "Man, you just do whatever you can. Like I want you to be a starter." So that whole year went by. We played against Northwestern, we played against Central, we played against all these.
You didn't play, and
this was against the top guys, like Joseph Yearby was Joseph Yearby. Dalvin Cook came in and was doing his thing, like.
And you didn't play.
And I didn't play none of them games. I didn't play. So fast forward to the end of the season, we start playoffs, and I'm still trying, still going to sleep and stuff like that. And now that I have to start, because it's playoffs. The best gonna play. So we played. I think we played Killeen first. We played Killeen first. We beat them. Then we played South Miami. South Miami was really good this year.
Okay.
AJ,
okay.
And all them boys, they was really good. So I had to play. So they put me on the field. I started. We beat them. Then we played Miramar.
Right.
This one, Miramar was really good. Tracy Howard, Michael Lewis, all them. I actually saved the game to put us back in the game. I caught an interception in the fourth quarter to put us back in the game. So like All I'm saying is like I supposed to have been having, you know,
Right.
I caught an interception
Right.
mid of the season,
Right.
and then we played Miramar, and I caught another interception.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I solidified myself after that.
Right.
Like, you know, college coaches, everybody down there to see Brandon Radcliffe, Deion Bush,
right,
all these guys. So that after the season, I started going to camps. We doing the 7-on-7, and I started getting in trouble though. I started stealing iPhones and stuff like that. Just being a
inside
bad
the
kid.
school.
Inside the school, you know what I'm saying? And I tell people this all the time, like, yes, that was terrible. And the kids I work with now, like, I have a kid right now who got kicked out of Columbus, and he's at my school now, and he can relate to me.
Right.
You can always get better. You know, something gonna happen every year. Somebody's gonna get in trouble. A first round pick.
Right.
It's something happens all the time. It's how you respond. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I didn't just steal just to steal, be a bad kid. It was kind of like Columbus was a school where, yeah, everything looked peaches and cream, but the guys I came in with, they was being racist to us.
Right.
Calling us monkeys. We turn around, we don't know who said it. You know, spitting from the second floor while we under the table.
Right.
You know, so we was dealing.
So you felt unwanted at the school.
It wasn't really unwanted because at the end of the day, Chris Merritt, the head coach, all the other coaches, they wanted us there.
But I'm saying, like, the players, like, did the players feel, okay, I'm just keeping it real now, we're going to just do a blood route. Oh, these guys from the hood coming in here, they taking all the positions.
Right.
We can't, there's no room for us.
Like, our parents donated all this money. You know,
you guys was a threat to them on the field because
absolutely
they couldn't play.
Absolutely. And I had friends. I still have friends to this day that went there who didn't play football. But you got these 9th graders and 10th graders, you know, younger guys who, you know, they like to make fun of the black kids. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I'm dark. I'm real dark. So, you know, they gonna make fun of us. You know what I'm saying? And we came there to play football, get scholarships, and go to college.
Right.
But all the extra stuff started going on. I got people spitting at us. I got people calling us the N-word and monkeys. Mm-hmm. So we knew we can beat them up.
Right.
But we don't want to do that.
Right.
We don't want to do that. So we did alternative, and it wasn't just me. It was other guys who, you know. But that's in the past. If I could do it all over again, I would not. I would just simply just leave.
So if you can do it all over again, would you have stayed at Columbus, or do you think you did the right thing by leaving?
Under the circumstances, me stealing.
Like,
because
no, I'm saying, like, if you can do it all over again, your younger self, would you have endured the process and stayed at Columbus and graduated, or you would have still left?
Oh man, I probably would have stuck it out. I probably would have
stuck it out
just because knowing what I know now, like, man, resources, and
you gotta be resourceful, man.
Yeah,
listen, life is about who you know,
life is
and
about
not what you know, man.
For sure.
And I agree. And you was young. You get what I'm saying? So you didn't really know what you was getting yourself into, because a lot of kids, they get into these type of environments, and they don't know how to survive in these environments because they've never been here before.
Right.
I went to Gulliver. My first year was hell.
Yep.
I had to go through a transition phase where, like, I'm not used to being around these people. I'm used to being in South Miami, in the hood, around all my people.
Yeah.
So when I got to Gulliver, you know, I'm catching the train, the bus to get to school, and my friends is pulling up in BMWs, Mercedes, and you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at them like, bro, I don't have this. I don't have what y'all have. So I didn't feel like I belonged there. You get what I'm saying? When we walking down the hallway, I didn't know how to talk. Right. You know, I'm screaming loud in the hallway. We screaming, yo, what it is, man, you know. Yeah. So Coach Sims pulled me to the office like, hey, man, you can't be talking like that around here, man. You're scared of people. So shout out to Coach Sims, you know, real coaching. Coach Sims took me under his wings and taught me how to talk, taught me how to handle myself. Man, you got to wear a belt. Man, you got to pick your pins up. You get what I'm saying? Because that first year at Gulliver, I wanted to leave. Yeah. I couldn't even do the work. I didn't want to be there. And then that next year, I got better, got most improved of the grade, and you know, so I feel where you're coming from. With like, you come into these schools where you don't know. You get what I'm saying?
Don't.
And I feel like now you can, like you said, you got a kid that you can relate to now old enough where you can let them know, hey, listen, man, this is the route that you need to go. This is the mistakes I made. You get what I'm saying? So I feel where you're coming from.
Right. And I'm not scared to tell people, you know, because every time somebody asks me what school you went to, I tell them Killian. But I always say Columbus first because I started there.
Right.
And they're going to want to know, like, well, did you play your 9th grade, 10th grade? Nah, I went to Columbus. You know, I played the freshman team. I started as a sophomore, ended as a starter on varsity, you know, and then I know things would have went up. I had, you know, all the letters after that, you know.
So you think if you would have stayed at Columbus, you would have went bigger than what you were? I mean, but Louisville was big though, so I feel like you still did what you did.
Yeah.
But do you think if you would have went to Columbus, you would have had like one of the offers, the UMs, the Michigans, the Florida States?
I honestly don't know because, you know, my size. You know what I'm saying? So my size became a big part of my recruiting. Mm-hmm. You know, even when I got to Killian, like, you know, like you said, all the little schools wanted me, and it's the Louisville popped up because I had a little school, and the coaches that was at, you know, the little school went to Louisville. So I'm gonna talk about that as we get to my senior year. So got to I told my dad. So the thing they wanted to do was, you have to, if you get caught stealing or whatever, you get expelled, you have to leave. But I was so good of a player, the coach wanted me to come back. So it was a chance for me to come back. I would have to go to an alternative school for like 2 weeks, reapply, and then I would have been good. I would have been back in the school. So, but, you know, all the other stuff I just told you about, I couldn't deal with that. Like I couldn't deal with that no more. You know, it took us so long to get to school. We waiting hour, 2 hour after school to catch a ride. We gotta ask our friends, you know, for rides and stuff, catch the bus and stuff. It was a hassle, man, doing that every day. You know, so I told my mom, I said, Mom, listen, I'm gonna make it. Like I promise you, like I got this. Like I promise you I got this. I worked too hard and I'm gonna make it. And you know, my dad, you know, shout out to my dad. So my dad, he's like tough love. You know, I learned a lot from him. You know, but my dad was like, listen, if you leave this school, you're not gonna go nowhere. You're gonna be like your brother, get bad grades, and you won't be nobody. You're not gonna go to college. And that stuck in my head. And that was fuel.
Right.
So, you know, I told my mom, I said, listen, let me do this. I got this. One of my best friends, Jaquan Johnson, who I work with now, you know, he was trying to get me to come out there. So at Killian. And, you know, I told him, like, listen, man, let's do it. You know, I never played with them. I always wanted to play with all my friends. So the guys I went to Columbus with, those are my friends. We all from the same area. I got to play with them. And Quan was always a grader under us. Mm-hmm. So now we was able to play with each other. And all of us went to Killian. A few of them guys went to other schools, but the guys from the same neighborhood, we went to Killian. So we got there junior year. That was the rebuild too of Killian too. And I ended up, you know, went in there, took somebody's position within like 2 days, worked hard. Shout out to Corey Johnson, man, great coach. He put that fight in me. So I already had the skill, the athletic ability, the ball skills, the feet work. I had all of that. But this coach put the fight into me, you know, and we went like what? 10-2, 9-2, lost in the third round playoffs. And after that season, I think I ended up catching like, I want to say 5 interceptions. Had a few forced fumbles. I had a touchdown. So after that season, I ended up getting, right after the spring game, I got little schools, FIU, Western Kentucky, Appalachian State, and you know, after that, I was good. I got a full ride now. I'm straight. So that process was really dope. You know, getting your first offer. You know,
how did that feel? Just knowing that a school telling you that you can go to school for free and we got you.
It's like I made it. Like, so now, like what I tell kids now is like, Listen, it don't matter what school you go to. If you get a full ride to any of these schools, you're good. You get your education, you get your degree, your bachelor's degree or your master's, and you're good. You don't have to pay for that. A lot of people in where you from and everybody in the world,
loans and stuff,
they gotta pay for that.
And they get and they college credits and all that. Yeah,
you get a full ride, you get everything paid for. Boom, you get into the real world, you don't have to pay nothing.
Nothing back.
So that's what I like. That's why I tell my kids now, like that's what I'm aiming for. If I was going to college, I know everybody want NFL. Listen, man, NFL got probably like 1,500 people in the NFL right now. Like that's the max, something like that. Every year they draft 260 something, 270.
Right.
With an additional maybe 20, 30 undrafted.
Right.
It's 1 million football players.
Right.
And if you're not, it's a top 30 in each position, and they're not even getting all them 30 people. So if it's all these people, and it's 1 million people, and there's only 1,500 people in the NFL, that's the real 1%.
Right.
So
right.
You need to have a backup plan. So I tell these kids that, man, and some of them understand. Some of them like me. Somebody told me that when I was that age, and I said, man, listen, I'm going to the NFL, man. I'm not hearing none of you saying. This is my dream since I was.
That's real.
And I'm only telling this story because I grew from that, and I could give it to the next kid. You either gonna take it and run with it, or you figure it out yourself.
Right.
So.
And now as you get older, you're like, that's what Coach was talking about.
Right.
That's what they was telling me about the real world, and boy, you better be preparing for the real world because it ain't nothing like high school and college.
Yeah.
Where people actually care about you.
Yes.
Knowing that did you go to class or did you do your homework?
Right.
Or are you at practice or waking up on time?
Mm-hmm.
Like once you get in this real world, ain't nobody really checking in on you. Like, hey, True, you straight?
Yeah.
You good? Did you all your bills paid? You got some money in your pocket?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel where you come from.
Right. So got the offers. Going to senior year, going to these camps. I'm getting best DB at this camp. Actually, I've been going to UM camp since I was a little kid,
So did you get discouraged that you didn't get an offer from the University of Miami?
Definitely.
Like knowing that you got Jaquan Johnson, you got Red Wine, you got all them guys that killing that you was playing with on your team.
Yeah.
And you want coming knocking on the door and you looking like, man, I'm balling just like them. Like, what y'all want me to do? Like, how that made you feel? Like, did you like? How did that make you feel?
Well, actually, they behind me, so they got their offers. Oh,
y'all didn't graduate the same year?
Nah, I'm before them.
Oh, okay.
So I think they 2015. I'm 2014.
Okay.
But played with Deion Bush. He in the same backfield. I played with a lot of great guys.
Right.
NFL guys. Now that I think about it.
Right.
Played with Deion Bush. Actually, guy Peter Reed. Shout out to him, man. Like he would push me a lot. He was the talk show host at Columbus. And he has his own website, Canes in Sight. And man, he'll throw me on there a lot. And he know I love UM. I'm a UM fan.
Right.
So, and I used to go to the camps a lot. I actually ended up getting MVP at the camp as a senior. So
you think I'm finna get an offer?
I already had it in my head. Like I got these offers, cool, but I'm finna go to UM. I'm finna commit there. I'm gonna go there. I probably sit for about 2 years just because of the talent that's already there. And I know the type of players UM like, the 4 stars, the 5 stars. At that time, I think they're a little different now since they knew you need some of these dogs in your backyard.
Right.
But at the time, they wanted the 4 stars and 5 stars. So I'm like, man, I'm probably gonna sit for 2 years, but I'm gonna work so damn hard. They're gonna have to put me on the field. That's in my head already. I could go somewhere as a start as a freshman, but I want to go to UM. So that was already in my head. But man, they would not come and offer me, man. I was pissed off about that. So going into the senior year, I started getting more offers. The Marshalls, the Dukes, the ACC, Syracuse started rolling in. I ended up, but I was the type of player. I had an older cousin who went through the same process. He ended up going to University of Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew about the recruiting process, how you supposed to handle things, what you supposed to say to them.
Yes.
So I was well taught before, like while I was going on, and I went with who taught to me the most. So because I knew they'll offer you, and just let it sit. They won't talk. I went with who talked to me every day, and who talked to me every day, Appalachian State and Akron.
And the coach would reach out, hey, True, how you doing? How this game?
Let me talk to your mom. Let me talk to your dad, man. I'm gonna be there this game and this game. I want you to come up. Blah blah blah. Like, so I knew they showed more interest. I wanted to go to the school, show more interest. Now, if you would have offered me, I don't care. I would have went there.
Right.
But the schools that had me, I went with the most interest. So it was Appalachian State and Akron. So I got Akron from JR. Shout out to JR Bryant.
Okay.
JR Bryant went to Florida State.
Okay.
So Florida State, my coach Terrell Buckley. Shout out to Terrell Buckley. He knows JR Bryant. They I guess that's one of his mentors. And he told him about it because JR used to train me a few times, and he was showing me the ropes too.
Right.
So Akron offered me. I went up there, got real close with Terrell Buckley. He showed me how to cut a steak. I had a steak for the first time my senior year in high school. He showed me how to cut a steak. So we got a good relationship, a great relationship. Actually,
at one point you committed to Akron.
I committed to Akron. So T-Buck ended up leaving Akron and going to Louisville. So I had Western Kentucky too. Western Kentucky was real big on me too, and that's what Lamar Thomas and Bobby Petrino was there. Shout out to Lamar Thomas. I'm still cool with these guys to this day. It's so crazy. So Lamar Thomas and Bobby Petrino ended up going from West Kentucky to Louisville. Charlie Strong ended up going to, I want to say, Texas after Louisville. He ended up going to Texas. So it's so crazy. West Kentucky wanted me so bad, and once they got to Louisville, Bobby Petrino like, nah, he too small. I was just wanted that Western Kentucky.
Right.
What's the difference? But I know how the game go, man. I know how it.
Now they want the bigger fish.
They want the bigger fish. So
right.
Terrell Buckley, T-Buck, he fought for me. He fought for me the whole. It was like a month. It was like a month left within recruiting, and they're trying to get their guys. And he like, man, we gotta get Trumaine. We gotta get True. We gotta get True. Keep watching his tape. Watch his tape. Watch his tape. And I had numbers. I had 5 my junior year. I had 4 my senior year, and I'm going against the top guys.
Right.
Every game, I'm sticking the best receiver.
And you coming from Florida, you was running, so
everything. I just didn't have the size.
Right.
So he fought for me, and it's so great. I think the only reason why he fought for me because the JR, we built a relationship, but he seen himself in me. Smaller guy, we the same. Me and T-Buck the same guy. And shout out to T-Buck, man. People don't really know him and respect him like that. But Terrell Buckley played on the other side of Deion Sanders.
Oh wow!
So at Florida State.
Okay.
And while Deion Sanders being Deion Sanders, Terrell Buckley got the record in NCAA football. You can look it up right now. I think he have like 13, 14 picks. Oh, and Gerard Holloman, who I played with too, shout out to him. He got the record. So and he won a Jim Thorpe Award too, and he went in the first round. I think first round 5th pick to the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
So everything that I know and I teach these kids now is from this guy. So yeah, man. So he fought for me, and I'm like, man, Appalachian State wanted me so bad. When I tell you, like, I went to that camp and I did.
Did you do a visit at Appalachian State?
I did it. I did the visit. I did the camp, man. They wanted me bad. He came to like, shout out to Frank Pons, man. He came to like 3 of my games, and like we built a close relationship. I was gonna go there, but I'm sorry, man. I met Terrell Buckley. I had to play for him. This is a All-Pro NFL. Every Jim Thorpe Award.
Was he what type of coach was he?
He was the cornerback coach.
Okay, he was the DB. Okay,
he was the DB coach. So I had to play. I was going to soak in all the knowledge, and I did soak in all the knowledge from this guy. I was going, like you said, it's about building relationships. I was going to build a relationship with this guy, and the sky's the limit for me. I already knew, like, this is the guy. This is my mentor. Like, I have his number right now. We talk a lot.
And he was able to get you at Louisville.
He was able.
So he called you one day and was like, hey, listen, I got you the offer.
Oh, that story is crazy. So I didn't put my eggs all in that bucket. I'm like, man, he said he gonna get me there. He gonna get me there. So I think it was 3 days or 2 days before signing day, I went on a visit to Syracuse. Because Syracuse they wanted me bad. And they actually took a cornerback who didn't have the offer, but they wanted me to commit, wanted to see if I was going to commit there. And if not, they was going to offer him, and he had to commit. That recruitment stuff is crazy, man.
Right.
So they called me at the airport. Lamar Thomas and Terrell Buckley, I think they was in the same hotel together. Called me like, hey, man, don't get on that flight. Because with the recruitment, they know when you going on a visit. They know everything. So it was like, hey, man, don't get on that flight. You got the offer. And at this time, Syracuse had this good old basketball team. This one, they was number one.
You want to go see the basketball game?
What? Man, they was playing Duke.
Oh, my God. I know you going to go see the game.
Man, I'm going to this basketball game.
You already telling everybody, but I'm going to the game.
I'm going to the game. This is the biggest game. And I watched this game to this day because that was a great game. That thing went into overtime and all.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was a great game. It was, I think, Syracuse was number 2. Duke
so did
was
you get on the plane?
Huh?
Did you get on the plane?
I told him, like, man, listen, y'all. I'm like, man, listen, y'all, man. I gotta go to Syracuse, man. I'm not going there. I just want to go on a visit. I told him this. So, I think Lamar Thomas is if you know this guy is a troll. Like, he was a great football player, too. He played for UM.
Okay.
Went to the Dolphins. He was a great guy. He's a great guy. But he is a troll. Like, he is that one player you like. He's gonna mess with you the whole game. He a receiver too, so he like pretty boy.
Right.
I think he called
somebody in Syracuse.
Somebody at Syracuse, Coach McDonald. Shout out to Coach McDonald too. He don't like me, but I had to go to Louisville. But he called Coach McDonald, and Coach McDonald called me as I'm about to get on the flight. I was like, you going to Louisville? I'm like, what? What you talking about? What you mean? I'm coming up there. Nah, you going to Louisville. Stay home. I'm like, what? Oh, nah, this is crazy now, man. Like, that whole visit was so crazy. And
so you got off the plane?
I didn't. I said, I'm not going to Louisville. I don't even have the offer. What are you saying? I'm coming up there. So, at that point, it turned to, now I gotta, like, I can't be cool no more. I gotta be, like, I gotta be straightforward. So, he's like, okay, cause I just talked to, T-Buck and LT. They said, you going to Louisville. I'm like, nah, man, like, nah. But I'm just playing my cards.
Right.
I gotta grow up now at this point. I'm a 12th grader, but I gotta grow up. So
right.
We ended up going to the game, going up there. They showing me around. They showing me my competition, how many DBs, because that was a big thing I used to ask when I used to get recruited, how many DBs you got, and what are they sophomores, juniors, or seniors? So showing me all of that. Went to the game. Next day, come back to the office. They're like, so what you gonna do? And I done been on 3 visits already. You don't just say that. Like, you don't just come at me like, so what you gonna do? You coming or not? I'm like, man, I don't know, man. I'm gonna go. And then they started talking crap about, Bobby Petrino. At the time, he had a lot going on. And I'm like, man, listen, man. I don't really like how y'all treating me on this visit. So I'm just ready to go. They said I had to commit now or you can't come. So I'm like, I'm not coming. I'm gonna go to Louisville. So it was like, get the F out of my office.
Yeah, do that to you.
Get the F out of my office. So I knew at that point, like, oh, this is a business. This is a business.
Yeah, do that to you.
This is a business. So
you left office. You just went straight to the airport?
They dropped me off to the airport, and I went back home. I called T-Buck and LT after the visit. They still was together in the hotel, and I told them everything they said. I said, man, listen, they talking crap about us. I can't wait to play them. Like, yeah, you got the offer. Go wear something nice for signing day. Get your parents. You come to Louisville. I said, I'm going to Louisville.
Wow.
Yep.
And tell me about your experience when you first got on Louisville campus. Being a small fish, you knowing that you undersized, the underdog, all these big time players there, and you worked your ass off, man, and you really made something out of nothing. So, how was that experience like? And then, let's talk about it.
Man, so before I got there, man, like I worked so hard with my trainer at the time, which was Sosa. Shout out to Sosa. Um, we worked so hard, and we I had in my mind that I was gonna go there and compete for a starting spot. I played in the All-Star game because at the time, like, man, people even now, like, with this whole like going back to the freshman team stuff, like what we was talking about. If you're a guy, you need to play varsity. Like, you need to at least compete for a starting spot on varsity. So we get to this All-Star game, and it's Booker T. This is Booker T. Everybody know Ice Harris, Tim Harris.
Right.
Tim Harris say, listen, man, ain't no red shirt. We on red shirt. We come in there, we start our freshman year, and we go freshman, sophomore, junior. If you got the ability, we go to the NFL, and we set our mom straight. We set our family straight. Okay, if that don't work out, senior year, we set our mom straight. We go to the NFL like that. We don't come in there in red shirt. When you red shirt, that's telling you're not good enough. If you're good enough, go play. So I had that in my head that, man, I gotta work hard, even harder. So I did whatever I had to do with my trainer, and we stepped on campus that first day with a mindset that we gonna play. And I worked hard. Like, I was the type of guy from high school, I'm going against the best guy. Because I know this guy going to make me better. I have to get better. He's the best guy. So, when I jumped on campus, my first rep of one-on-ones, I went against Eli Rogers. Shout out to Eli. Eli is a dog. Like, he got so much finesse. All them.
That's real. I was a big fan of Eli, man.
Man, Eli got so much finesse at the line and in his routes. Like, I had to get better going against this guy. Michael Lee Harris, another one. He was at Louisville too. I had to go against these top guys, so I know once I really step on this field, I'm gonna dominate. And that's what I did. I stepped on the field, went against Devontae Parker. We did our practice and we had a game. I lined up against Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker is 6'4", 6'3", 200 and some pounds, super long arms, but I didn't care. I don't care who I lined up against. I'm finna go against you, and I'm finna lock you down.
Who was the quarterback at that time when you was there?
Oh man, he was a no name at the time. We had like.
So Lamar Jackson wasn't there when you was there.
Lamar Jackson came my sophomore year.
Okay.
So my freshman year, we had a freshman who competed. I think he actually, him, and a tight end ended up playing our freshman year. His name was I forget his name, but he was a good quarterback coming out of high school.
But you played with Lamar Jackson.
I played with Lamar Jackson my sophomore year.
Okay, and he was a freshman.
He was a freshman.
Okay,
yeah. I'm gonna tell you about that, boy. I'm gonna tell you about that, man. But yeah, went against Devontae Parker. Ended up getting bombed.
Right.
But it was like I was on him like a fly, and he ended up just, the quarterback threw it in the bread basket, and I mean, like, people cheer for me. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? I just got bombed. And them people like, no freshman has ever done that. Like, no freshman has ever let me go against Devontae Parker. And
you had that dog in you, man.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and like, coming from South Florida, was it different? Like, because people already knew about the Teddy Bridgewaters, and they knew about Miami. And now you coming in with all these Miami guys there, So were they already expecting, like, okay, he from Miami, so he gonna have that in him.
Yeah, so it's crazy. On my visit there, backtrack to my visit, I met all the Miami guys. I already knew Brandon Radcliffe because I went to Columbus with Brandon Radcliffe. I knew him, so he was my guy. He hosted me on my visit. Chucky Williams, I played South Florida Express 707 with him. I knew him. I knew of James Burgess. Okay. Shout out to Burgess down there. I knew James Burgess. I knew of the Eli Rogers.
Was Stacey Thomas there when you was there?
Oh man, that's my boy. Shout out Stacey. Stacey Thomas. Yeah, at Gulliver. Yeah. So all these guys, man, we had about 20. I could go on. We had 25 people from South Florida. Not even Florida. We had 35 people from Florida, but we had 25 people from South Florida. That's crazy. But I'm the only guy from Miami on that team went in at that time. So they knew they vouched for me. Everybody, when you go out of town playing football, you're gonna the Miami guys, the Florida guys, we gon' stick together. You know what I'm saying? Now once we get into our little groups,
right,
the downside up north, we gonna talk, shit about each other.
Right.
But we gonna stick together, and them boys knew I worked way harder than them other guys we had that come in. Them guys from like Georgia, we had guys come in from like California or Texas or whatever. I work harder than all of them, because I'm that's what we do down here.
Right.
We work hard and we grind, and we trying to be the best that we can be.
Yeah.
So they knew that, they seen that, and they vouched for me. They told the coaches, they told the other players, they told everybody around that I need to be on the field.
Wow.
And I ended up getting on the field. I ended up playing
as
my
a freshman.
I played 5 games. I ended up getting hurt versus Syracuse. It's crazy. I got hurt versus Syracuse. But after that, man, the sky was the limit. The sky was the limit after that, man.
That's tough. So, what is your most biggest moments at Louisville that you will never forget when you really knew, okay, I'm him?
I'm gonna say my sophomore year. My sophomore year, man. I went into sophomore year with no fear. Like no fear. Like if you know football, you know you need to have a big sophomore year. A big sophomore year in high school and in college. To get to the next level. So I was on the ball, man. Sophomore year, man. I'm in the meetings early. I'm staying out the meetings. I'm staying out for treatment. I'm making sure I gotta do whatever I gotta do to be the guy. And my sophomore year, man, that was Lamar Jackson's freshman year. So we had a good quarterback. We had a good defense at the time, and we had a great team. And I was on the ball, man. I ended up catching 4 interceptions. I had they were sending me on blitz packages. I'm blitzing a lot. I had 7 TFLs. Like as a corner, I had 7 TFLs, which is a lot. We played Syracuse. Dang, I keep saying Syracuse. We played Syracuse. That was my best game of my whole.
Y'all played at the Dome or at Louisville?
We played at Louisville, man. It was hot. I was out there balling, man. I think I ended up with 12 tackles. I had a pick 6.
Wow.
I had a sack. I had a few TFLs. Like I won the Bettner Rick Player of the Week that week. So that's nationwide. Like that's big time right there. So I'm like, man, listen, boy, hold on now. Like hold on, boy, this can happen, boy.
Man.
Like this can happen.
Did it feel real?
Man, it felt crazy, man. Just to feel
walk in the stadium and you see all these people and they cheering and screaming.
They know my name. Like I promise you, at Louisville, every time I make a play, they'll say "True." Like they knew that the True came. That's been a thing. Like the True, like that's been a thing. But to have 40, 50, 60,000.
How did they know to say that?
Man, it's I don't know. Like in college, I don't know how. It just they know. Like they from interviews, the coach talking about you around the school.
And how did that make you feel walking around campus knowing like, man, I'm balling. I'm in Louisville. I'm playing big time football. My mama get to see me on TV. People really know who I am. Man. I'm playing against the best competition in the world every weekend. I'm playing with a Heisman legend, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, it felt surreal, man. Like Louisville was one of them schools. It's like wow, like, and shout out to Teddy Bridgewater, man. Like you gotta keep getting him his flowers. He paved that way for the South Florida guys to go there, and this is why I tell like the UMs, like like all these people was me wanted the offer from UM. Teddy Bridgewater had the offer from UM. He was the 4-star, 5-star guy. But the guys around him who made him, Teddy, that helped him out, didn't have them offers. That's why you got to respect the Charlie Strongs, because Charlie Strong going to go get that talent. That's why all of us went
man,
there.
the dogs, the ones that's hungry, that really want it.
Yes.
And I remember just watching you, man. I knew you was always hungry. Like when I seen you at Louisville, I used to watch film and stuff like that. I'm like, he gonna make it. You can just tell by looking at your film, just the energy you brought, the passion you brought, just the dog. You probably wasn't the biggest on the field, but you always around the ball, making plays, stripping the ball. You get what I'm saying? And just it was the fight in you, like you say. Shout out to your high school coach, Coach Corey. Bringing the fight out of you.
Yeah.
But these are some things that you can see. Like you can just saw that how hungry you was, and I do think that if you went to UM, you would have did the same thing.
Yes, 100%.
It would have never been nothing different. You would have did the same thing at UM. So you did that. So let's talk about how was it playing with Lamar Jackson though. Like, did you guys have a relationship a little bit, or
Lamar was a guy, like he's a normal guy just like everybody else, man. Like you in the locker room, everybody. You got a girl, he gonna show you the girl in the inbox, like at the normal. He was normal. He wasn't big time. Like he wasn't. He knew he was big time.
But he wasn't. But you can just tell he come from where we from.
Yes.
So 100%. He ain't really going
100%.
And you can click with him because he know that you come from where he come from.
Yeah.
He know.
Yeah. Lamar is a great person, man. He's that you can't. Even in the draft, like you couldn't say nothing bad about him because there's nothing to say bad about him.
That's real.
So. When he first got on campus, he was going viral from the little Vine or whatever, the YouTube. He pointed at the guy and did a little back. That was already, he was already big time coming into us. But his first, and I think he told this story too, when he was at the Ravens, one of his first or second years, we had a scrimmage. And if in college, you're not supposed to touch the quarterback. But Bart Petrino said, listen, we're going to let him be live. Y'all can tackle him. So we had a dude, a safety, man. He was like 6'2", NFL prototype type safety. Fast. He from I think he from like Jacksonville, Florida. And he was basically saying like, I'm finna F him up. I'm finna welcome him to college football. Like he on our team saying this. Like,
right.
But you know them guys in who you friends with, he in the locker room with, he like, man, he ain't really nothing.
Right.
All right, cool. So Lamar knew this too. Lamar knew that he wanted to F him up. So we get into the halfway through the scrimmage. Lamar's a freshman now, so Lamar didn't start when he got there. He ended up starting after this incident that's I'm gonna tell you about. So quarterback say, boom, second down, boom. So he had his own package where he do the read option. So had the read option, boom, found the hole. He actually shook me. He shook me to play before. He did it twice. So he shook me, but I'm not going no full speed because I done did my reps. And this second, third team, man, like I'm just out there because I was a second string nickel. So I went and got my reps at nickel, but I knew what was going on. So third down, he do a speed option. It's 1-on-1 with that safety who I was just telling you about. When I tell you, he gave him the meanest dead leg, like the meanest dead leg you can ever. You can think about anybody you grew up with who had the best dead leg, 10 times better. Boop. Man, that man went this way, and Lamar went this way. And when I tell you, this man start screaming, towards ACL. Tore it, like, completely tore. Completely tore. This man was screaming, crying. They had to stop the game. And that man went for a touchdown. They stopped the game after that. They stopped the game and said, Bob Petrino said, hey, man, Lamar Jackson, don't touch him no more. Don't touch him. Like, yeah.
But people knew Lamar can do that, though.
Yeah, we all knew that. You ain't just hear what I said. He shook me.
But dude just was...
Yeah, one of them. One of them.
Yeah.
So, after that, we went in the locker room. This dude went to the hospital. And Lamar went around the locker room laughing. That's what you get. I told you. This ain't for fake. The little video you seen, that's not for fake. That's real. I'm like that.
Wow, man. Yeah. And then he turned up ever since.
First game was against Auburn his freshman year. He didn't start, but he got in super early. He threw a pick. It was like the first play he got in. They thought he was gonna run, threw a pass, he threw a pick. But after that, man, the rest is history, man. You seen it.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Just knowing that you was able to play with a guy like that, and now you see how big he is in the NFL. You just be on like, I played with him. Like I really was in a locker room with him. Like I mean, I know there's a lot of NFL guys you don't play with, and you like, wow, man. You know, like, but sometimes does that get frustrating for you knowing that you played with them guys and you didn't make it to the NFL?
Man, if I had $1 for everybody who say, man, you should have been in the NFL, I'd be rich right now. It don't discourage me, man. Like, and the reason why it don't is because I found peace when I went to Canada. I knew, and like I said, I had an older cousin, and I knew the struggles that I would have, you know, throughout my process. So it wasn't just like, it ain't just in me because I knew I had all the good. I got little hands. I got some of the best hands though. I always tell you I got some of the best hands, man. But my hands are small. As soon as you go to pro day, they gonna grab your hand and they gonna measure your hands. They gonna measure your arm length. They gonna see how tall you is, how much you weigh, how big your muscles is, and I'm not your NFL prototype cornerback. Now, can I go in?
But did you get a tryout to the NFL?
With the Dolphins, but that wasn't really nothing. Like I wanted to suit up.
So you ain't really get a game. Like they ain't helmet, shoulder pads, ain't really get out there and hit somebody and
no.
Cover.
I didn't get none of that, and
it was just some gym shorts running around.
Yes, but I didn't wait though. So going into the draft, I was only talking to like six NFL teams. So I thought I was gonna go to the Browns. The Browns told me if we don't grab you 7th round, we're gonna get you undrafted free agent. So I thought I was going to the Browns, but that didn't work out. I didn't hear from them. So immediately, guess what I do? I call T-Buck. T-Buck, man, what do I do? I done gave it my all. What do I do now? T-Buck say, let me make some phone calls, but go get your passport. So I already knew about the CFL because of Richard Leonard. Shout out Richard Leonard, man, and Jarrell Gavins too. Shout out to them boys. They was the reason why I watched the CFL, not even knowing what the heck I'm watching. So when I got my passport expedited, draft, bomb, and not even 2 weeks after, a week after the draft, the Toronto Argonauts called me and asked me did I want to play. So that whole week, I never been depressed in my life. Like I always been sad when a family member die. You know, that's always sad.
Right.
You know, when things don't go your way, I'm
right.
sad. Maybe about a female, I'm sad. But depression, I never felt that until NFL, when I didn't get a shot. So I'm like, I'm only talking to 2 people. Like I'm only talking to my best friend and my brother. I'm staying with my brother at the time. I had a car that was paid off. I ended up selling my car because I'm like, hold on, I just spent the money that my agent gave me. I'm thinking I'm gonna go make some money in the NFL. Like, sold my car.
Just so you can have some money.
Just so I can start with money. You
right.
know, like I didn't, you know, so they ended up calling me. I was in Little Haiti at my brother's apartment. And man, when I tell you, that was the best thing that I could ever hear. They said, well, can you get on the flight tomorrow? You got your passport? I said, yeah. They said, okay, we're going to send you a flight today, right now.
So they sent you a flight.
They sent me a flight for that next morning. When I tell you, I went back to my mom's house. I packed any and everything. When I got up there, I'm like, damn, what the hell I packed? Like, I packed some bull stuff, but I did not care. I went up there.
So how was that? Walk us through that day when you stepped on that airplane. You were in Canada. Was it different from here? How was it? What do you remember getting off the airplane?
Man, I got off that airplane the same way I went into Louisville. I'm like, listen, I'm that guy. I'm supposed to be playing in the NFL right now. There's no way I'm finna let anybody catch a pass on me. I don't care who you is, how much money you getting paid up here. I'm finna show out. And I got there 2. I got there like at 2 or 3 a.m. because the flights are long there. You gotta, it's all type of immigration you gotta go through and stuff like that. So I got there at 2, 3 a.m. At 6:30, it was their first camp practice, and it was their first camp practice. They asked me, did I want to do the run? Because they had like a team run that you had to pass, like a fitness test. And I'm like, man, let's do it. I'm talking about I barely got sleep that night. I'm overwhelmed. I'm like, dang, like what? This is real. I didn't go to the NFL, but I'm here, you know? So I ate something. I ate like something from Sharma. It's like a gyro or something like that.
Okay.
Ate like a gyro. I went to sleep for an hour. They picked me up from the hotel and took me to the facility, and I did that run. But I was so trained. I just did NFL training in Tampa with Yo Murphy, with Randy Moss out there, all these guys. I was more than in shape. Like I was good. So went there, did the fitness test, killed it. I killed it. We got into our pass. I'm locking up. I don't even know none of these guys. I don't know nobody. It's some of these connect. I'm like, what? Who is this? Why my homeboy ain't in the CFL? These people trash. But I ended up finding out it's a Canadian football league, so it's only 250 Americans in the in the CFL, and the rest are Canadians. This is their league.
Right.
This is our league. It's not here. It's their league. So they got their guys there, and we have our guys come in there and make the team better. So I had to learn all the rules. It's different rules. It's instead of 4 downs, it's 3 downs. So it's first, second, punt. Like it's so many crazy rules. You can like if the ball going out of bounds, you can just hit the ball with your hands, and it's called last touch. Whoever touch it last. It's 12 people on the field instead of 11. It's 12 people on the field.
Were you still having fun?
Oh man, I was having so much fun. CFL reminds me of a 7-on-7.
Okay.
It's 70% pass, 30%.
Is it still physical?
Very physical. Very physical. It's very physical, but the field is so much bigger. You can have a lot of explosive plays. So it's an offensive league. That's why it's so fun, man. Because it's all 7-on-7, and I'm a DB.
Right. So you're gonna get a lot of action.
I'm gonna get a lot of action. That's why I got a lot of picks up there. Cause you know they thought I was sweet. You know I'm from Miami. I'm young.
Did you start your first year in the CFL?
So I ended up making a team, and they already have their team. You see how like you go into the NFL, they already have their team set.
Right.
You got to make the team. You got to make a spot. So, they ended up putting me on practice squad. I made a team, but they put me on practice squad for the first 3 weeks. I'm balling so out of control, man. Like I promise you, I was balling, and I got videos. I be posting my videos all the time, like when I get bored on Snapchat or something like that. Man, I'm making it look so easy. I didn't even practice the waggle where they run up and then they say hut and then they go. I didn't even practice that. Like I was so locked in. I didn't care what went on. Like all this coming from when I was depressed. Like I'm literally like, what am I doing with my life? Like, so I knew I had to ball out, and I made a team, practice squad, balling in practice. That 3rd week, one of the guys get hurt, and I knew every position. Usually you would just go for this spot, this spot, this spot, this spot. I knew every position because I already had in my mind what I needed to do.
Right.
One guy gets hurt. They like, oh, well, can you play this position? Let's try him out in practice. Made it look easy. Went into that first game. I had to strip. I stripped the ball out from somebody. A veteran guy who was getting, that guy on that team who I stripped was the best team, and that dude was getting paid $250,000. Stripped him. The dude picked it up, took it for a touchdown. I'm a rookie, so that's big. You got guys who done played 6-7 years not doing this type of stuff. I'm talking about full. I didn't even go for the tackle. That boy was holding that ball like this.
You already knew.
And I said, yeah, give me that. stripped it out. Dude ended up scoring. So they thinking, they like, hold on now.
Who was this guy?
Who was this guy? The dude that got hurt was getting paid like $150 or something like that. You know, CFL gets paid less than NFL.
Yeah,
you know, so it's like a D League, G League, whatever from the NFL. So, but that's a lot of money.
Right.
Six figures is a lot of money. So they ended up trading that dude and giving me that starting spot. Led the league in interceptions in 2021. 2022 signed with a team. 2023 signed with a team, and then ups and downs. I ended up getting like cut. First time getting cut, that was hurtful.
So how did they cut you? They just call you and say, "Listen, I'm sorry, but it's not working out anymore."
Yeah. So.
Did you know you was gonna get cut?
No.
You didn't even know.
No.
So you thought you was doing good.
Well, no. Okay, so this is the part that made me like, okay, this is where adversity hits, right? This is where I have to grow up and know this is business, because it turned into a business. Once you get out of college, it turned into a business. It's all about money. It's all about this.
You gotta get your feelings out of it.
You gotta get your feelings out of it. It just got 100% healthy. This got old enough. I mean, this got young, because they take an older guy. You got to be a vet or whatever. All of that is a business. So remember, I just told you I started after my fourth season. I ended up playing that year. And then the very next year, I ended up being the number one starter. Like, I was a starter coming back.
Yeah.
And the coach loved me. We had got a new coach. He loved me. And I was the most talked about. I'm still in practice balling. First game of the season, I get hurt. My hamstring. I tear my hamstring. Okay. Tear my hamstring. I missed 6 games. So when you miss 6 games, they basically call it stealing money.
Right, because you're not playing.
You're not playing. Like, they investing in you. You're not playing. So I get back after the 6th game, and they ended up wanting to go with another guy. So they brought a guy from the NFL. So and that's another thing. A lot of these guys in the CFL, they come from the NFL.
Right.
They not. That's why I'm blessed to be there, because I didn't come from the NFL. I was one of the few guys who,
made it out of college.
Really just made it out of college, and they took a chance on me. That's why I really respect the CFL, and I always say I love the CFL. But they ended up cutting me and bringing in another guy from the Browns. But he didn't pass his physical. So I had my girl up there at the time too. She was going to come for like a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just got there. I ended up packing my clothes. I'm like, I got to get a flight. I got to pay for your flight. They going to pay for me. I got to pay for your flight to go back home. I got to figure it out now. So as I'm going to the train, they call me back like, hey man, we gonna come back to the office. Let's talk. We want you back on the team. So I'm like, man, what are these people doing to me, man? At this point, I'm like, what? I'm ready to go. Like,
right.
Y'all playing with me. I'm ready to go. Call me back, sign me back, and I ended up catching an interception.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up going back to doing what I do. I caught an interception. So I ended up leading the team that year too.
Wow.
In picks. But I just knew it was a business, man. Once you get hurt in any league, NFL or CFL, once you get back and you not looking the same, you done. You're done. They not gonna give you no time, because the time don't wait for nobody.
Did you enjoy your time in Toronto?
Yes.
Was it different from Miami?
It's different. Not in Miami, the whole country. Like, man,
what's different about Toronto than the United States?
Man, the way they live, the way they talk, the way they greet people.
You just knew you wasn't in America.
They walk there. It ain't no obese people. It ain't no really big.
Was it a city like how we are? Yeah. Buildings.
Toronto gives me Brickell vibes.
Okay.
Bayside.
Okay.
It's really nice up there. They got a place there called Dundas Square. It kind of marks the Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
In New York. It's beautiful.
Was you there in the winter?
Yes.
It was snowing like crazy.
Oh, it's cold. It's cold.
So you couldn't live there. Like, would you, like, have you ever, was that thoughts of like, damn, I might try to make a life here?
I did. I thought I was going to, do about 6, 7, 8 years there and then just move there, get my citizenship there. Because a lot of dudes do that.
Right.
And get a citizenship there and just live there. And I already knew about the cold because I was in Kentucky at Louisville. I was already like,
you was accustomed to it.
Yeah, I was good with the cold. But man, it's a different type of cold in Canada, man.
So how many years you was in Canada for?
Since 2018. Right after college. My last year, we didn't have a season in 2020 because of COVID. And then my last year was 2023. So in 2023, after the season in 2022, I ended up getting in contact with Terrell Buckley, my old coach from high school. I mean, from college. This is why what you said. You got to keep the connections. You got to keep your resources.
You have to.
So I hit this man up because he was my mentor, and I already knew what he was doing. So he ended up getting a head coaching job in the XFL.
Okay.
So the XFL, all the coaches there, you're either a legend in the NFL or you're a legend coach in the NFL. So he's a legend in the NFL, and they ended up making him one of the coaches. I think Terrell Buckley was a coach. Hines Ward was a coach. A lot of these great players.
Yeah.
So, I'm talking to him and LT. I talk to them like I talk to my friends.
Right.
They like older friends than me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they already knew what they was going to do. He was going to be the head coach and LT was going to be the assistant head coach. So, I knew about the draft. I knew who they was going to draft. I knew like what was going to go on. And I knew I was going to be one of them players. So, I didn't get drafted, but I didn't need to get drafted. I knew I was going to be on the team.
He's going to pick you up.
So, I was one of the first people, and people don't know this.
I didn't know you played in the XFL.
I played in the XFL. Yeah.
What team?
The Orlando Guardians.
Oh, okay. And how did that go?
So after my season, the season ends in the CFL in November. The XFL is a spring league, so that season starts in January. So I just end up playing all these games. Legs messed up, legs tired, arms tired, all that, fatigue. I ended up jumping. I skipped camp and jumped right into the first game. So I came there 3 days before the first game. I had to get released from I had to tell CFL, listen, man, I'm retired. I don't want to play no more. Can you just release me because you still be on contract until you get released or if they want to re-sign you. So I had to go through a lot of like business to where like y'all release me, man. I'm done with the CFL. I had a great time. I love you guys, but I'm done. They ended up releasing me. Ended up signing with the XFL.
Who paid more?
Who paid more? I got paid more in the CFL.
Okay. So what made you just want to leave what made you just want to be done with Canada?
Because I was dealing with a lot of adversity, man. Like I never been on a good team in the CFL. I never got paid top dollar in the CFL because it was just a whole bunch of BS started happening later on in my career. So I had an opportunity to go back with this coach, like.
And yeah,
I said, the money good, whatever, but it's the U.S. It's the U.S. back to U.S. football. This is what I love, and maybe it's an opportunity that I could get back to the NFL if I play here. So I ended up going with them, and man, I'm sorry, T-Buck, LT, that my boy, but man, that team was bad, man. That team was bad. Man, that team was bad.
Where y'all had players from, man?
Man, them people cannot recruit. No, they can't recruit, man.
So you was like, what is this, man?
I'm like, what is this, man? Like this is
the route running, you out there covering, you like the receiver.
Man, listen, it was bad, man. It was really bad. But I love how they let T-Buck spread his wings because he was only a DB coach. This man could be a defensive coordinator. He knows so much football.
But was it ran? How was the organization?
Well,
was it ran like a professional team?
It was ran like a professional team, but the players the
It wasn't high
players.
quality players.
It wasn't high quality players, man. And all these guys think they the best. They think they so raw. They got their little scat pats and Hellcats and just think they so big. And it's like, man, if you was big, how you think you is, you would be in the NFL.
Right.
And that's just the reality, man. Like y'all didn't make it yet.
But they thought
Be
they
humble.
made it.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. So, but a lot of these guys, they're fresh out of college. This before the NIL, you know. So they think this money they get is like big, you know, because you know in college you don't really get that much money depending on where you at.
Right.
But they think they big time, and they took it for granted, man, and it showed. Cause I'm mad because in the XFL you get an extra 1,000 if you win. We only won one game out of 10 games, so
you only got that 1,000.
I'm like, man, this is so that ended up happening, but I forget about all that, man, because
right.
I'm grateful. Like, things were different in the CFL, too.
So what made you say, you know what, I'm going to hang the cleats up of me playing?
So, I played in the XFL. That was in... So, I just got done in 2022 CFL in November. I joined the XFL in February. So, that's what? December... January. That's 2 months off of football. Joined it back again in February. Every day until April. Football. That ain't it yet. CFL starts again. CFL called me. Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Yo, you want to play some more football? Like, we see you was in the XFL. Like, you want to come back? We need a spot. One of our guys got hurt. We need a spot. I'm like, hold on now. That's a little bit more money I can make. You know, I'm gonna go play. So I ended up getting hurt my hand. I tackled a running back in the XFL the second to last game, and I messed up my hand. So I knew that I knew the business. I know the game. You know, I done got injured before. I know what's going on. If I tell them I'm injured, they're not gonna sign me. So, and I could play through this. You know, so I ended up going back. I got released. T-Boy, it was an easy release for me. I'm like, T-Boy, man, they want me. I'm finna go. He said, oh yeah, let me go. Ended up signing with Saskatchewan. So that was in June, July. So from July all the way to November again, I'm playing more football. So I done played about 30, 35 games.
That's a lot of games, I mean, in 1 year.
Yeah, like that's a lot of football.
A lot of banging, man.
A lot of banging. So, and then it was more stuff that was going on, man. In the football world, man, there's so much going on. Like you gotta be perfect. You know, if you're not one of their guys, if you're not one of my guys, you gotta be perfect. Or I'm letting you go. And I wasn't their guy. You know, so after that season, I sat down with myself. I'm like, man, listen, I'm 20. I'm 29. I'm 29. I'm 28. This was last year. I'm 28. I'm like, listen, do I still want to play this football? Do I really love it? Do I really have the passion for it? Do I really want to, you know, wake up and go to treatment how I do, how I did for 6 years and stay out the meetings and do this? I'm like,
did you have a personal life?
Personal life outside of football?
Like, were you able to enjoy your life? Were you able to enjoy some of the money that you made and like just do what Trumaine Washington wanted to do, not wake up every day on a schedule?
Honestly, I'm actually doing that right now.
Right now,
yeah.
I'm saying, but before that in football, you didn't really have a life. It was just really football.
It was just football and video games. Football, video games, talking on the phone. It was just
time to.
Didn't have time. It's like a set schedule. Like you know, you play football. It's a set schedule. Like football, midday school, after school, weight training, eat, study, homework, play the game. Now you gotta wake up and do it all over again. So I done did that since freshman in college. Got to the CFL. Yeah, I got time outside of CFL and stuff, but I didn't really do much. Like I was trying to save. I was trying to. If I do go out, I'm gonna go to like a club and hang out. But I done got so used to that, man. I was just at home, just chilling.
So coming back to Miami, did you feel like, damn, I'm a failure?
Nah, I feel accomplished in my career, man. Like I really feel like I gave it my all. Yeah, I'm still young. I can go out there and play right now. Like I be working out with the kids. They be like, "Coach, how you move so fast?" This the time right here. 28, 29, 30. This is where you be great and you get your money. So, but I feel like I did a lot. My stats, I used to compare stats to other DBs and a lot of guys who they say, "Oh, he was a guy." I compare stats, and I got great stats. 10 interceptions, 3 touchdowns.
Speak time, man.
So I feel like I left something great over there in Canada. I always look at my size. Like, listen, man, like I'm 5'8", I'm 5'9". Not your super Tyreek Hill fast. Not your biggest, strongest Ray Lewis. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a baller. I'm a baller, and yeah, I left something great over there in Canada. So I'm proud of what I did.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's amazing, man. No, you did do some great stuff. People watched you. I know I watched you. I followed up, seen all your film, all your highlight, man, and just it made me happy just seeing you ball out. Guys that I know that went through the struggle, that went through the process, man, and fighting us to stay alive and fighting to stay relevant. And you really did make something of yourself, man. That's inspiration. You was inspiration to me because just seeing the guy who come from where I come from, being able to make it out and make a name for themselves.
Yeah.
I was so happy to see you at Louisville, just to see what you did at Louisville. Like, that speaks volume because you was a no name. Nobody didn't really think that Trumaine Washington go to Louisville and compete with all these top guys. And you went in there with no handouts, worked hard during practice, and really made a name for yourself.
Yeah.
If you're talking to the world, they didn't think that you can be competing with the Eli Rogers of the world, the Devontae Parkers, the Teddy Bridgewaters, Lamar Jackson, the Brandon Radcliffes. No one didn't think that the James Burgess. No one didn't think that you can compete with them type of guys, and you really went in there and showed people what hard work and dedication and trusting that God can do. So, you did that, man. Let's talk about life after football. It's a big topic, because a lot of guys in your situation, once they done with ball, they feel like life is over for them because they don't know what else to do. They don't know. Some people grow up and all they know is football. All they know is play the game of football, and I feel like a lot of us are in that situation. And maybe, this right here can be motivation to somebody that's watching this, man. That's so many Trumaine Washingtons right now watching this. So many Trumaine Washingtons that put everything into football and it didn't work out. And they home sitting on the couch. Because I remember when football didn't work out for me, I didn't even want to come back home.
Right.
I remember sitting in my dorm room telling my best friend, like, bro, I can't go back home. Bro, I can't look my peoples in the face. I can't walk around and I didn't make it. People would depend on me to make it, and I didn't make it. I can't come back home, bro. Like, bro, can I come stay at your house? Because I told myself once I leave my grandma's house, I'm not going back to that house. So there's people right now that's watching this video that's sitting in their dorm room, that's sitting home right now that just got released from an NFL team or CFL team.
Yeah.
What advice can you tell them, and what did you do life after football, and what helped you keep your sanity, man, and why are you doing the things that you're doing now? Because I love the work that you're doing right now, and I think that the community needed that. Kids needed that. It made me feel special seeing a guy like you make it far, come back, and not point into kids. You could have did anything you wanted to do. You could have did whatever other job to go make you some money.
Right.
But you really giving back to the youth. You really taking your time and doing it for the kids, So what are some things can you tell these people?
So I always been a guy who I never really cared what nobody thinks of me, and in college, in high school, it started in high school, I had the biggest supporters, my family, my cousins, my aunties, my uncles, my friends, neighborhood friends, people who I don't even know, You know, they trying to look out for me. They praying for me. They coming to my games. They making sure I'm straight, calling my phone, keeping me entertained. And once I didn't go to the NFL, where y'all at? You know? So like I think all of that just it kind of breaks you down because you feeling so loved, you balling, you being a top guy, you looking like a superstar. You basically a superstar.
Right.
You know, from your neighborhoods.
Uh-huh.
And you get so much love, you get so much attention. So once that attention leaves, and this happens every day to people. Like,
right.
You know, once you on the top, they gonna follow. But once you fall, it's a wrap. So, like I said, man, I knew. Like, I feel like I was above my time. Like the people who I grew up watching, and you know, just being outside, I knew the ups and downs that comes with life. So even when I told my mom, like, listen, I'm good. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna work hard. Like, trust me. Like, I knew from that point, like, I could make my own decisions.
Right.
Going into the CFL, people didn't want to go. People had opportunities to go, but people like, oh, CFL don't make no money. CFL don't make no money. They don't even know. Like, they don't even know you can literally, like, if you're a quarterback, you can make $1 million in the CFL.
Wow.
If you're a receiver, it's an offensive league. I'm telling you, you can make $300,000. The top receiver make $300,000. My position make the least, which is the top guy get like $180,000, and that's still a lot of money, you know. But people, all we just know is NFL. We know NFL, and people want to be the top guy. People want to be the Odell Beckhams, the Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, wearing the jerseys. It's like, listen, man, you can't be that. A lot of people can't be that. You probably can't even make it here. So I knew I had all of that in my head as a young kid. Like, listen, man, go be yourself. Don't really listen to what you have to say, what people have to say about you. Go be your own person. Go be your own man. Like, you know, and that's what I did, man. And if I have to tell a young kid, you know, like, listen, man, work hard. Be the best. When you compete to be better than them. But just know they might choose him over you just because of your size, your speed, you know. They might want this guy. Y'all might have the same build, the same speed, the same athletic ability, the same stats. They might want him because you got dreads. You got dreads and you don't fit well with their program. They don't want to put you on TV because you got dreads or you got goals in your mouth. You know, so
it's real.
Like you just gotta sometimes you just gotta put that pride to the side, man, and just go do your own thing, go ball. And that's what I did. I didn't wait a year. Most people, when they don't go to the NFL, they train for a year, they work and hopefully and pray that they go get a workout somewhere. I didn't wait. I wanted to play football. If I had a chance to go play football and maybe I could slip back in the NFL, that's what I'm gonna do. That was my goal. I didn't listen to what anybody else had to say. I knew the Toronto Argonauts wanted me. I'm finna go play for them. I'm finna ball out of control, and maybe I go to the NFL. It don't work out, I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try again. And I made a name for myself out there. And eventually I'm like, man, I don't care about no NFL no more. They ain't want me. If they wanted me, they would have called me or my agent and said, Trumaine, we want you. Come play some football. They didn't want me. And that's totally fine.
It's real that you accepted that, you know.
I accepted it early. I was depressed for that whole week. I'm talking to my best friend. I'm not talking to, what are other people who was calling me saying, yo, hey, we gonna be on a boat, we gonna be on a yacht, man, private jet. What are people at? I'm depressed right now.
Nowhere to be found, man.
Help me. You know?
Nowhere to be found.
So I talked to the people that really love and care for me the most, and
that's real.
They got me through it, and I made it happen on my own. Didn't care what nobody said.
Can't even call on people asking for $1, man, a pickup.
Nothing.
I know sometimes you like, but if you had it, they calling you, hey, bro, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
And sometimes now you looking like, damn, if I really need it, who really
Yeah.
or be there for me. So
Yeah.
I feel where you're coming from. So coming now, like now, let's get to your training and everything. What are you currently doing now
Yeah.
to survive and just to make a life for yourself?
So right now, man, I got right now I'm training kids.
Mm-hmm.
I actually work a 9 to 5 too, and
Okay.
I train kids. And just giving back. You know what I'm saying? And like, yes, we charge to train, and we starting out very good. We starting off, me and Jaquan, we starting off very good where we're at right now. A lot of people probably don't want to pay the price of what we charge, which is a great. We have great prices, but it's like I paid for training. I paid for training. Quan, he paid for training. You have to pay for this type of stuff. It ain't just the regular old school bench press, curls, squats. Nah, man, we in 2024, man. These guys moving crazy on the field. They looking crazy on the field. So we have the recipe to get your child, you know, at the tip top shape. Have the best feet work. We have our strength and conditioning is we do something totally different. We don't just do the regular football stuff. We mix martial arts in our workouts. You know what I'm saying? Like we have a different type of stilo we do now to get these kids ready for football, because we did it and it got us ready for football, and we played at the best of our ability.
Mm-hmm.
So we got our thing going on. It's still NFL season right now. We got a few NFL guys that are gonna come train with us. Hopefully that the youth can come out with them and see that, listen, man, like this is what it is. This is how you get to the next level. And we just trying to build down south training up. I feel like down south is so far behind, and we're so like we're so backwards that we have so much potential, but we be holding ourselves back,
and we don't support each other.
We don't support each other. And the guys that the people who we see up north and out of town, they're doing the exact same thing. Me, I was a guy where I'm all about work, or I'm about whatever. You want to go work out? Let's go work out. You want to go do something else? Let's go do something else. You want to go work out 3-4 in the morning? Cause me and Quan worked out 3-4 in the morning at the beach. I had a car, so he'll hit me up. Yo, let's go to the beach. We'll go run the beach. 3-4 in the morning. He in the 10th grade. I'm in 11th grade. So we got it in, but he got in just I won't even say a tad bit different. He got in a lot. Like he had a different mindset. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that. Like, man, like everybody can't be the same. Like you got guys who barely work out and can jump a 50-inch vert. You got guys who barely,
but he worked out to get everything he got though.
He worked for everything he got, and he spilled that knowledge with everybody he come in contact with. He spilled that knowledge, how you get this, how you do this.
So did he help you out through your process as well? Like as him being in the NFL, and
for sure,
you talking to him every day, like, bro, like, I'm like, what can I do to get better? My keys, what should I read? Like, what coverages, and did y'all talk about things like that, or like how was y'all relationship like on a daily basis? What were the kind of conversations y'all had to lift each other up?
Well, it was more so like we more so like motivating each other. Like as far as football, we both knew football. Like we both knew schemes, finesse, how to read. We knew football at an early age in high school. So when we talk, it's more like motivation, how we gonna get here, or like what I need to do more. You know what I'm saying? What I need to do less. It's more motivation of how we gonna get to the next level. And when it didn't happen for me, he like, it's all cool. It's good. It's all good. Just keep working. Like just keep working. When he didn't go, because he was projected to go pretty high. He was he probably was one of the best safeties coming out. and it didn't work. It didn't work out in his favor. He still went, but he didn't go higher than he thought he'll be. And it's all good. Just keep working. It's all good. Just keep working. You know, it's gonna work itself out. So when we talk, it's more so motivation. And you know, after we got to where we needed to be, now it's like, what's next? Okay, let's give back. Let's show these kids you can put in all this work and still fall short. But don't let that discourage you. Keep going. Keep going. Keep putting in that work and make sure you need to do everything you need to do. Don't fall short. Don't limit yourself.
Right.
Do an extra rep. Do an extra rep and then an extra rep after that.
That's real.
You know, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Working out, staying late, you in your head, but don't limit yourself. You're gonna wanna quit. You're gonna wanna quit, but it's okay. It's
right.
okay. Keep working and
right.
it's gonna work itself out.
That's real, man. That's real. So, you know, this podcast is called Real Coaching Podcast, you know, and I named the Real Coaching Podcast because, you know, I want to be inspiration to everybody and people know what real coaching is. You know, when I started Real Coaching, people used to thought, oh, you name yourself Real Coaching because you think you're better than other coaches, and it wasn't because of that.
Mm-hmm.
I named it Real Coaching because somebody was a real coach in my life and taught me things bigger than just football. You know, they taught me how to be a man. They taught me integrity. They taught me how to navigate through life and how to use football as a tool to navigate through life.
Yeah.
And it was my coach, high school coach. You know, I didn't have mom and dad growing up. You know, mom was in the streets, never met my dad. So my high school coach was like a father figure to me. That was a real coach. He was bigger than just winning football games.
Mm-hmm.
So what does real coaching mean to you, and how did real coaching help pivot you through life?
Real coaching. Well, I think that real coaching probably can be your own opinion as
right.
far as, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that real coaching to me probably would be you teach your players football.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is what they come in to play. They come to play football, but you know, just how from my experience in high school, this kid can relate to me. You know, the trials and tribulations he done had, I done had the same thing. I did, and I overcame mine. That kid probably won't, but I'm gonna spill all my knowledge and say like, yo, you need to do this. Don't do this no more. That's out. What I done did, it was out. I'm not gonna be able to make it to where I'm gonna make it if I do this. It might be some karma. What I did back then, probably the karma why I didn't go to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can be that. Maybe that's not the circumstances, but
right. But I get what you're saying.
From the get go, like it's done. What's done is done. Let's focus on the bigger picture now.
Mm-hmm.
You can go get 1,000,000 of them things now if you stay on the right track. So that's my definition of real coaching. I'm gonna teach kids how to play football. I'm gonna teach you how to be one of the best football players. I'm gonna also teach you, the game of life too. How to, you might get depressed on not making, not even just football, man. You might go into a job where you so depressed because they love this man so much or this lady so much, and you putting in so much work, so much overtime, and they not even seeing that.
Come on, man. You speaking to a lot of people right now, man.
Not even just football, man. Like in the real world, like, you know what I'm saying. So, but the message I have is just keep putting in the extra work. The work, man, it might not be seen by the boss, but it might be seen for somebody in the company where, okay, I really like this guy. Let's move him to another company and make him the top guy. It might not be within a year or two. It might be 10 years from now. But man, you're gonna get to where you want to be if you just keep working. And
somebody watching.
Somebody's always watching you, man. Just keep putting in the work, man. So That's real. That's my real coaching. You know, teaching just the game of life, man. Not just the football. We gonna do football year round. You probably ain't having nobody at home teaching you. By what's going on in the world. You not watching the news. You not knowing. Like, man, listen. Okay, what when my kids? So I'm at Somerset High School right now. When we get these kids in the summer, cause we got the same kids from the spring. When we get the new kids from the summer, I'm gonna sit them down. They gonna think we can go out on the field and do ball work, ball drills and stuff. We gonna go in that field and take our cleats off and sit in a circle. And I'm gonna ask every one of them kids, what's your dream school, and where you see yourself in 10 years?
Wow.
And I did that last year, and I told everybody had a different college. Somebody say they think they're gonna be married in 10 years. Somebody say they want 3, 4, 5 kids in 3 years. Somebody want to go to Florida. You want to go to UM. You want to go to the NFL. And I said, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Out of one person, that's gonna happen for y'all. Everybody else is gonna be something different.
Keeping it real.
So, how we gonna fix that? What you gonna do to try to keep that? You know, how much work you gonna put in? Yeah, you might have that 3.0. You might need that 3.5, that 4.0. Like we gotta better ourselves, man. And I feel like that's when I say we so far behind down south, man. Like,
we're not speaking this type of language to the kids.
No.
As a community as a whole, like, everybody should be speaking the same language to these kids, man. Like you say, it's bigger than just making plays on the football field, man. Like, we are the future, and we got to teach these kids, there's bigger things in life than just football, but you got to use football as a tool to navigate through life. Football got you where you debt free. You didn't have to take out any loans to go to college. That's one of the biggest things right now in America, just being able to go to school for free. But I'll let you finish up.
Yeah, man. So I feel like, man, we just so far behind. But you got people like me, Coach Key, Antrell up there. Like it's so many people down south we're trying to build it up to where now they're looking at us like, damn, we need to be like them, instead of us on social media like, oh, sending our kids up there, we need to be like them.
Up there.
Nah, man, we got
agree.
Everything
down
we
south got the best talent, man. I promise you, man.
Yeah.
Like, they got to come down here to get our kids, man.
Yeah.
Down south has the best talent. There's no reason why a down south kid should be going up north to play football or any sports.
Yeah, man.
There's no reason. Down south has just as much resources as up north. To be honest with you, down south has better resources. There's way more wealthy people than down south. You got the Pinecrest, the Coral Gables, the Kendalls, and all that. You have that down south.
Yeah,
up north don't
100%.
have all that.
100%.
They don't have They don't have the Columbuses. They don't have the Gullivers. They don't have the LaSalles. They don't have the Ransoms.
Yeah.
They don't have all these, the Somersets.
Yeah.
They don't have all these type of private schools up north in the city and all that.
Yeah.
So I really do think that down south can be the beacon of what we're trying to create and what we're trying to do for these kids, man. But everybody just got to fall in line, man.
You guys just got to, put your pride to the side, man, and just see the bigger picture. Like, yeah, you might get on a team. Your son might get on a team, and that team it's probably one of the worst teams, but if you have the right set of coaches, cause I'm gonna tell you right now, like, for the parents out there, like, your kid, you probably think your kid is the star player when you get on that team. He not. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let him have fun, let him grow as a football player, let him practice, and let him just learn the game of football. Then that next year, he might be the star player. You know what I'm saying? And now you guys fighting for carries.
But I feel that parents shouldn't even focus on their kids being a star player. I have a son, and this is my first year coaching my son's football team. I've never done it before, but God worked in a way where was being able to head coach of the team this year. And my son's not a star player of the team, and I know that, and he knows that. And is it my goal for him to be the best player on the team? No. I don't want my son to be the best, because I always want him to know that there's always somebody out here better than you.
For
so
sure.
You got to always continue to work. My goal is to always put my son in an environment where it's nothing but dogs.
Yeah.
It's nothing but dogs, and you got to learn how to survive. Because the minute that you become better than everybody else in life, when you get put in a situation where you have to fight for what you want, you won't know how to fight.
Yeah, you gonna cry.
I never want him to ever feel that
Yeah.
he's the best, and don't just glorify and give him everything he needs. Like, parents, it's okay for your son not to be superstars, because, and statistics says the superstars when they're young, they don't become superstars when they get older. There's a lot of people we grew up with, played football with, was the man.
Mm-hmm.
They get to high school, they get lost in the sauce.
Yep.
They don't even run the same no more. They can't even catch the ball the same anymore. They ain't even growing no more. So I feel like parents, don't get caught up in the hype. Focus on training. There's a lot of resources down south, a lot of great trainers down south that actually care about kids, that want kids to be good. Focus on the developmental part right now. Right now, football should be for kids to have a great experience, to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
When you 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, you just out there just to love the game, to find passion in the game and continue to learn. Like True said, it becomes more of a business when you get outside of high school.
Mm-hmm.
When you get out of high school, ain't nobody just playing football no because they love it.
Mm-hmm.
When you loving football, that didn't get you nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
It was a business after that, because you loved football, like you say. That couldn't get you nowhere. When you finally found out that it was a business, it did something to you. So let your kids enjoy the game while they're young, man. Let them enjoy the game. Let them just play football and have fun. Who cares about scoring touchdowns?
Yeah.
Who cares about making tackles? Who cares about winning football games? Winning football game is not going to get you $1 million. Scoring touchdowns in the Little League is not going to get you $1 million. It's not going to buy you a house. It's not going to get you where you need to be. Let the kids have fun.
Yeah, I'm big on that. That's why I love seeing the down south chat. I'm in that, man. I love seeing. I love watching. I love what's going on. I love the arguing. I love the fighting I love that. But at the end of the day, that Little League football literally means nothing.
It don't mean nothing.
Only
man.
people who getting paid from that is the people that gamble. Like, them the only people.
That's
the
it,
parents, man, go out there and have fun. Everything you just said, we can be just like that down south. That's what they're having up there. I think that youth football is amazing right now. Like, man, there's no way you can have me mic'd up on the football field as a little kid. Man, that thing is
technology
is
dope,
dope,
man. It's crazy right now, man. What we can do, we didn't have all that growing up.
Man,
I wish somebody was filming me making tackles as a little kid, man.
Scoring touchdowns on
know?
4K.
Man, imagine now as we older, we get to go back and watch all those films, all those memories. All we got is memories in our head.
We gotta squint our eyes and look at the graphic.
You feel what I'm saying? These kids able to live with these moments for the rest of their lives.
Yes.
I appreciate you, True, what you're doing with these kids, man. Keep going. Don't let that stop you. The world needs you, bro. These 100%. Kids need you. Because I know if you motivate me, there's other people out here that's watching. They probably don't say nothing. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you this right now, they watching. And I know that your story going to motivate somebody, man. But before we wrap this thing up, do you have anything else to say to the people before we end it out?
Oh, man. Appreciate you having me on this podcast, man.
All day, bro.
Dope, man. Nice setup, man. Very official, man. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say, man, for any parents out there, you know, come get coached. You know, come get coached by, you know, the people who care about not just football, about life, about their best interests, and you know, I really think that we can have something big down here. Like, we can really have something big down here. We have the resources, like you say. We have the resources. We got the schools, and I'm not telling you just to come to Somerset. I'm not telling you to go to Columbus, man. It's a lot of schools down here.
A lot of coaches that care. There are a lot of coaches that care. You know, parents, if you need help finding the right school for your kids, man, just know that you can reach out to me, Trumaine. You can reach out to. It's a lot of coaches out here in the world that really do care about the well-being of kids, man. So if you have any questions, anything, you know, just make sure you reach out. Again, you know, if you have anybody that have a kid that want to get trained, down south training, I know your kid would be better than you found them if you take your kid to Trumaine Washington or Jaquan Johnson for their training. You know, I'm gonna start bringing starting programs where I bring some of my kids with them. We're gonna start doing things on weekends. You know, getting some packages done, some bundles done. Yep. But listen, I promise you guys, man, Trumaine Washington's the guy. Thank you guys so much. God bless you all, man. Coach Key, we out. Real Coaching Podcast. Love you all.